So we're just giving Kirk a minute to try to connect to the Zoom, and then we'll get going.
Okay, Julie.
Thank you. All right. So we'll let Kirk get settled, but it is now 7:09 p.m. and I'm going to go ahead and open the Select Board meeting for Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. We are here in this training room at the Public Safety Complex. And just want to confirm that Kirk is all set. I can't see.
I'm all set, thank you.
All right, great. Thanks, Kirk. How are you?
Good. It's cold at the base of Mount Washington.
Ooh, I bet. I saw snow there already.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, my. All right, so the meeting is open. First up is we have 9 consent items. So as we've done in the past, I'll go ahead and read them. If there are any objections to consent, then we will move them to the new business portion of the agenda. So number 1 is to approve the meeting minutes from the regular meeting held on September 23rd, 2024. Number 2 is to approve the meeting minutes from the regular meeting held on October 1st. And number 9 is to appoint Elizabeth Clements to the Sale of Town-Owned Property Committee effective October 16th, 2024 until June 30th of 2025. Are there any objections to any of the consent items?
Nope.
Hearing none, I declare that they have all been approved. As per usual, if we can send Donna a thank you for her participation on those boards, that would be wonderful. All right, so moving right into it, we now have a public hearing, and this is related to an application for a change of manager, officers, ownership interest, and transfer of stockholders for Kettlebrook Golf Course Incorporated, located at 136 Marshall Street, Paxton, Massachusetts, 01612. Kara, you have a microphone in front of you.
Yes, I do.
Can you just give us a quick update as to what's changing?
Sure. So myself, my 3 brothers, and my father purchased Kettlebrook in 2008. My father passed away, so now we just have to get his name off the liquor license, change the officers, get everything changed so that it will officially be in the name of myself and my 3 brothers.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
But there's no change with regard to the liquor that, so you are all set.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. So moving right on to new business. The next is to review and interview prospective candidates for the resident opening for the Economic Development Committee. We have 2 applications that were received. I see one of you here. So Joe, do you mind coming up and giving us a little update on who you are and why you want to join the committee?
Yeah, guys.
Oh, you can sit right there. If you've got a microphone, that's fine.
Yeah, so I'm JJ Shea. I live at 50 Pleasant Street. I've been a resident in Paxton for 2 years this December. I'm a big believer in continuous improvement and feel that this committee is an important area where we can have a tangible impact on the growth of the town. While I don't have an economics background, I am excited by the potential opportunity to participate on a committee that can play a vital role in this town. So,
I think it's a very important committee.
Yeah.
So thank you for putting in for it. We did have a second applicant. Is anybody coming in? Nope, people are leaving.
No.
Biggest, because we have people that own businesses that are on it. We have,
Mm-hmm.
and this is just public, right? It's not business owner or anything like that. Like,
Right.
So no, I don't have any questions. I think it's great that you're interested. It's a great place to start. So, thank you though.
All right, you're welcome. Sorry, I didn't mean to exclude you. I was looking at you as from the finance perspective while you were sitting there.
Oh, that's all right.
It's finance sitting there.
I know we're in a row.
All right. So, okay. So with
I'd
that,
like to make a motion to appoint JJ to the Economic Development Committee, and I'm excited to have some new talent.
yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yep. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right. All those in favor, Kirk?
I
Carol?
Aye.
And I will vote aye. So welcome aboard. We're happy to have you.
thank you.
Thank you for submitting your application and putting your time and energy toward this important thing. So I appreciate it. All right. So next up, we have a discussion about the ARPA funds. You, in your packet, should have a ARPA project summary sheet. And you'll see that there is how much
is completed, so that can roll back to be reappropriated for something else. That is from the electronic signs, so we're all done with that project.
Yep.
And we, the fire chief is on his way to go pick up the fire truck in Pennsylvania, so the check has already been cut for that.
Yep.
So that results with $10,030 left for the fire truck project, so that can also be rolled back. That leaves open, and Travis, I think you're here, but I believe we're still working on the West Street Water Main Engineering Project. So, and that has a contract for it, so we should be okay for that. And then we also are working on, let's see, assistance to households. We have about 4,300 left, and that's all going to be utilized in the next couple of months, no problem.
expect so, yep.
And then we have $1,236 for tree removal. Kirk, are you gonna be able to use that by the end of December?
Actually, yeah, because there's a issue with a tree that I looked at on Sunday, and we'll use every bit of that.
Okay. And then Travis, Stormwater Project 2024, we still have 3,755.63. We'll be using that.
Yes, we will.
Okay. So everything else is accounted for, so it's just rolling back the $10,265.05
Yep.
to the unencumbered.
Yep. So,
It's just about $5,000 through our auditor. We will have a contract written up just for that piece, but it's already alluded to when we did the 3-year contract.
right.
But we'll just cover ourselves on that piece. So that amount will be expended. So I do need to get, I apologize, I don't have it tonight. I just need to get clarification from Larissa on what the total number is now that's left.
Okay.
As far as projects that are out there, I did do a little brainstorming with folks last week, maybe giving people a little bit more opportunity until the next meeting, but we don't want to wait too long because we want to make sure there's an opportunity to either enter into a contract or expend the funds before December 31st of this year. Couple project ideas out there. The police chief had mentioned that he is going to incur costs for training expenditures for his police officers to the tune of about $17,000 by sending 2 officers to training. There's other pieces out there. One, I did ask the fire chief, and he has a call out, but we don't have an answer back yet, on the cost of replacing some of our AEDs, so the automatic electronic defibrillator. A lot of them are nearing their end of life. We also do have a few units out there that are randomly positioning me a number for that. And then the last piece is the potential of getting a cost to see what it would be to get clickers for town meetings. So a lot of towns have started investing in the clickers. It flashes me back to college days when you could vote A, B, C, or D, and you do the survey in the room, everyone had a clicker assigned to them. But the same notion, so everyone would have a clicker assigned to them when they check in that day, but they're able to do it. It's a lot faster because you're not doing hand counting. Everything automatically goes through the clicker. People feel it's a little more confidential, so everyone doesn't see when your hand's raised or not. There's pros and cons, obviously, to that, but that's another possibility. So with all of those pieces, I would request from the select board to give me till the next meeting to kind of put those projects a little more in perspective. And if any of the 3 of you have any more ideas or anyone else has any ideas, I can get those projects into one memo with some costs, with the total amount that's available to expend, and back to the select board, hopefully for the next meeting, which I think is the 28th, Donna? Which would still give us a little bit of time before.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, the key is we have the deadline coming up of December 31st in order to have these funds encumbered, but not necessarily spent. So we need to make sure that we have a plan for all of it. By my count, if we are taking the 5,000 out for a audit, then we're left with approximately $15,794. And so connect with
Sooner or later,
Heather.
We're gonna deal with it one way or the other. So it's,
Right.
I mean, that's the odd part about being a tree warden and a selectman, but you see both sides of that.
Yeah,
But sooner
so,
or later, Travis and I are gonna have to figure that out.
so I'd say connect with Heather, get her an idea of what that amount is likely to be. And then we can look
Okay.
at least trying to get some of them done.
Yeah, I've put a list together and I sent it to a couple people just to try to get some pricing on it. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, hopefully, and then we'll just have to go from there. That's all we can do.
Okay. Sounds reasonable to me. All right, so hopefully, we'll have some things to weigh out to try and expend the rest of these funds in time for the next meeting. Okay, so next up is to discuss moving the DPW administrative offices to the building at Klingley Field on Grove Street. So come on up, Travis. Yep.
Evening.
Good evening.
I thank you for having me here this evening. For those of you who don't know, my name's Travis Tebow. I'm the director here at the DPW in town. Just to give you a little background, we've been working 6 months or so that construction will start. So in trying to think outside of the box to meet some of our other needs, we once again looked at a big issue we have is administrative needs, right? So it's not just for our staff currently that we have, but it's also for the residents that come into the building. Roughly 3-4 weeks ago, and this is just one of many instances that I'll share with you, we had 2 people come in within the same day. One person tripped over an extension cord in the garage bay because everybody that comes to the office has to walk through the bays. So the guys were working in the bays. One resident tripped over an extension cord walking to the office. Another resident, roughly 2 hours later, opened the door while the guys were welding and had slag thrown at them. So that's not something that we want to see happening. We don't want any employees or any residents getting hurt in the facility, right? So again, in trying to think outside the box, we once again looked at modular buildings, mobile facilities, office trailers. The expenses are extremely high. So we started trying to look a little bit outside again. Some other ideas were thrown around. One of them was
Travis has met with the Recreation Committee and the DPW Building Committee to make sure they're all on board with this proposal. Last week on our DPW Building Committee, we're very blessed to have a couple people that can be very helpful with us for this. One is going to be Jason,
yes,
and the other gentleman is going to be
Nolan.
Thank you. I had D in my head. I was like, wrong letter. Nolan, they're both going to work with us to see if we can widen out those specs to get as specific as what we're looking for, and then we'll be able to put it out to bid. Hopefully, it won't take too long to get it back in. Usually, as long as we time it right, we can usually line it up for a select board meeting. So hopefully, by early to mid-November, we'll have that back to the select board with who we'd like to award the bid for. As Travis already stated, the state has already given us the blessing on the revision of the earmark.
Right.
So we're good to go, as long as there's no other concerns.
Yeah, great. So I have a couple of questions, just for clarity. So part of the earmark funds are going to be used to fix the septic situation at the current DPW site, right? So that there will be working facilities there.
Correct.
And then, when it comes to well, this is more of a comment, I suppose, than a question. And I think I had a question initially, but I've lost it, so we're gonna go with the comment. So when it comes to the building at Klingley, I remember what it was. So, the $88,000 quote, well, it was basically a rough estimate that we got in, but it's not what we're going to end up paying. I just wanna make sure that.
So just like to say thank you to a handful of people. There's been a lot of people that have put a good effort into this. First and foremost, Tiffany Sidholm, who's our administrative service manager. Heather has put in a lot of effort, the Recreation Committee, the DPW Committee, the Fire Chief. The Fire Chief has been allowing us to utilize some space up here at the Fire Department for our purposes. It's been extremely beneficial, so while I have the opportunity, I want to make sure that I say thank you to all those folks.
One quick question, Travis.
Certainly.
Did the contractor give you a rough estimate of what he thought the time would take to make? What about the restroom facilities? Are you gonna have access to those, or
Yeah.
are they talking about building new ones out?
Yeah, no, so there's 3 restrooms already in the building there, so the idea is to just cut a door into one of those, and we'd have a double door into one of the bathrooms. So we'd be able to utilize one, lock the exterior door during our time frame, unlock it at the end of the day, so that they could still utilize the bathroom.
Excellent, thank you.
No, I think this is a great way to look at using space that we already have. I think it effectually increases the oversight of that area, so that, you know, given how much money that recreation has put into those fields over time, having somebody present there all the time was actually kind of nice, because we do have, you know, unfortunately, incidents of vandalism and whatnot in town, and this unfortunately, the snack shack has been the subject of vandalism on a number of occasions, so having somebody present in one of our snack shacks is gonna prevent that, so that's nice. So, you know, I think it's a great way to use the space. I'm glad we can do it for funding that doesn't cost the town anything. And it gets us to where we need to be, at least for the immediate future. So congratulations to all, you know, it's a big deal.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, do you need anything from us? I don't think so.
Any other questions, concerns? Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Travis.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
So we're approving, just to be clear, the 31st from 5 to 8 p.m.
Correct.
All right, so we have a motion and a second.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, Kirk?
Aye.
Carol?
Aye.
And I will vote aye. So we've set the date and time for trick or treat to occur on Thursday, October 31st, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Okay. All right, so under old business, we have to discuss the process for the joint select board and finance committee working session scheduled for October 23rd from 6 to 9 p.m. And we have 2 members of finance here with us tonight. Do you want to come up, or do you want to stay there? It's entirely up to you.
I think we're good here.
Okay, great. Oh, I couldn't see that you had a microphone,
Yep.
Mark, so good. All right. All right, so Heather, I'll let you.
Sure, so this is mostly just on here to make sure everyone is aware what the plan is. So after conversations back and forth with the select board and FinCom meetings, I think we're agreed to the date of next Wednesday. So working sessions just for the members of the committee or staff. I mean, I don't have to speak, but I imagine there'll be an opportunity that I'm suggested that I do present. But yes, so if anyone does come from the public, again, it's an open meeting. We can't tell someone not to come, but they'll be asked to sit in the back and they won't be recognized.
Right. Right. So there'll be no public participation.
Correct.
In this meeting. Okay.
Observation only.
Yep. Kirk, any input from you?
No, that sounds good.
Okay. And anything from finance?
No, I think that I'm here and you've referred to us twice. We will speak. This was presented at the Finance Committee at our last Finance Committee. I don't want to say that we did anything, but we kind of leaned toward October 23rd. There was thoughts of maybe doing it a little sooner, but this room was taken up on Wednesdays with zoning bylaw public sessions. So we're going to attend and look forward to a fruitful session.
Very good. All right, thank you. So I have nothing further to add.
Quick question. Will there be a remote?
We do thank them for their service, and pretty neat to have one of our own featured. So
The article was good.
thank you very much to Mr. Garcia and to Mr. Standish.
Absolutely.
Okay, and Town Administrator's Report.
Just waiting to see if the computer was going to cooperate. All right, so updates. Calendar, upcoming events. So tomorrow is our 5th and final zoning bylaw information session at 7 p.m. So tomorrow's topic is the MBTA proposed zoning bylaw. That I do not have the materials uploaded yet. I will get them up as soon as I can tomorrow morning. Anyone who's interested is most welcome to attend in person, on Zoom, or you can watch later on YouTube. Let's see, the materials from the prior Zoom and zoning bylaw information sessions are all on the website. Again, you go to the town's website, right-hand side, zoning bylaw. We'll be holding that in this room. It will be a hybrid, again, in person and on Zoom. So if there's any additional recommendations or changes or anything else, we definitely need to get to the zoning board prior to then. The legal counsel at this point does have the zoning bylaws as they are, so Brian will be opining, getting comments back to us to get to the planning board as well by the 23rd, 24th, so they have it in time to review for their meeting.
Are they having the public hearing along with their meeting on the 29th, or is there a meeting occurring before then?
I don't know if they're gonna have another meeting, or if they're just, usually they would incorporate, just like we would, the public hearing into their meeting. Mm-hmm. So I imagine it'll be the bulk of their meeting.
Okay, yeah, just kind of wondering, because the concern being that, we want to make sure that if there is any public feedback, that feedback gets to them. Ideally, I think what I'm hearing is we don't want people to wait until that day.
No, definitely send in. So again, if anyone has any questions, and people have been doing a really great job the past couple of days of sending in some questions. Some are easy to answer, some are not so much, but we want to have those questions. So if
Yeah.
there's confusion, if you don't understand something, especially if you watch with folks to get the responses back out from town.
Good.
So, but any more, please send them along so that we definitely want to know what the questions are and be able to answer them.
Yeah.
Opportunities, so employment, we still have open positions out there, so if anyone is interested or knows someone would be a good fit. The most recent positions, the Permitting and Community Development Coordinator, which was formerly known as the Town Services Coordinator position, that is a 40-hour-a-week position. We did have a bunch of applicants so far. We still have priority given to applications received by Thursday at 4 p.m. We did a few interviews. We're waiting to see what happens come Thursday, and then if there's anyone else to interview, we will look at doing that.
Yeah. And that's this Thursday.
That's this Thursday, the 17th, yep, at 4 p.m. So if anyone else is interested, please put in.
So Heather, do you not have a concern that you've increased the hours for this position when we've got a budget, we had a budget deficit last year where we had to cut positions, and then this year the next year we don't know what's going to happen?
So this is a really important position for our town. The person who sits in this position is the support and mostly the go-to person for ours to think about the approach we're going to take with this person in this position. And we want someone who has the ability, has the time to be able to say, hey, you want to start an ice cream shop in town? Thank you so much for coming in and bringing that to our attention. Here's the zoning map. This is what it looks like. Here's the information. Do we have any other permitting guides or more materials? Can I connect you with the EDC and so forth? So I think if we do this right, this position has the potential of being impactful and bringing in additional revenue for the town.
Okay, that's fine. Good answer. Thank you.
As far as volunteer positions go, we still have the Charter Review Committee. We have 3 interested bodies. We do have 7 openings, so if anyone is interested or knows anyone that they think would be fascinated and a hardworking person who wants to get more involved in town government, the Town Charter committee is definitely the place to be. Town business updates, town clerk, so presidential election is ahead of us on November 5th, early, so we don't want to restrict anyone from holding any signs or doing any campaigning, but we want to make sure that if it's during the hours of 10 to 2, because town hall will be a polling location, the law says it has to be 150 feet out. Town services coordinator, we've already covered this. Again, Cheryl is leaving us after about 14 years. We are super happy for her and super sad to see her go. Let's see, we already covered those pieces there. Treasurer collector's office. So second quarter taxes are due November 1st. The office was closed through today because we had a transition from last week till today for the treasurer collectors. And as of tomorrow, Elizabeth Clements, our new treasurer collector, is on board and starts. She is already there today getting acclimated with Donna Kuchar. Already started working together, so that will be good. Townwide, so next several months we'll begin our transition to a .gov domain. So for those who have been watching, they may recall a number of months ago, I approached the select board about permission to pursue achieving a .gov domain. It's a lot more secure than what we currently have. It is a huge push from the state and the federal government to go that direction. Interestingly enough, the .gov domains are actually monitored by the federal government, so it gives us a whole other level of security. For those who are panicking about how this transition is, another layer of protection so that, you know, they're bound to catch someone off guard at some point. We don't want it to be one of us.
Right.
So, all right, so we covered that. Current project update, so you'll see here, we got the basketball hoops installed, the side court. This is like super exciting. I would hope that Kathy would think this is one of the most exciting things that's ever happened because she has been working on this project for about 4 years, give or take, to get this going. We had several hurdles, but as you can see, it is now up. There's 3 more that look just like it. On the side courts, and we're waiting for the full courts over the next few weeks to a month or so. They're just waiting on getting them in and then scheduling time with the school to get them installed. We will put up a new picture when it looks prettier. They will take care of painting the backboards and so forth, so everything blends in a little bit more, but I'm told they look lovely. They're very easy to put up and put down, which is one of the reasons we asked for the change in the first place, for safety, and Kathy is happy.
Yeah, I can't count the number of times that I was a little concerned for our volunteer basketball coaches who.
We did double check with the AG's office, and they were unable to locate a submission from the town of Paxton going all the way back to 2000, although we believe this was done around 2007, to them asking for it to be approved. Therefore, we don't formally have it at this time as a formal bylaw, so this gives us the opportunity to take another look at it and see if we wish to put it forward to the special town meeting or even annual town meeting thereafter and have a chance to make sure everything still is exactly the way we'd like it to be. Okay. Any questions on that? All right, employee recruitment retention, so second newsletter, it was set to go out today. I got a little distracted with a bunch of interviews, so it'll go out tomorrow. Also gonna try to have some pictures of our new employees in there, so it'll be worth the wait for a day. Town zoning bylaws, we've already covered that project, I think very thoroughly. Town charter we've covered. Financial well-being, all set on that one. Budget, so anyone who wants the links, again, they're all on the page for the town accountant, but they are there as well in the report. And grants, so we submitted last, I think it's November 21st and 22nd, if I have that correct. So just please know, we are working with the employees to make sure everyone's comfortable, but the bathrooms will be closed on those days. So depending on if we have enough employees to be there to open town hall, we will. Otherwise, we might close on the 21st. It just depends on how comfortable people are for traveling outside the building for a bathroom. But if you are a member of the public and you are planning to visit on Thursday, Friday we're already closed, please note the bathrooms will not be available that day. Police Department received a grant in the amount of around $19,000 municipal road safety grant. And they also have applied for an $11,000 body-worn camera grant for video redaction software. So below, you'll also see the updated grant tracker. I tried hand highlighting, so it probably doesn't look as pretty, but these are updates from the last time. You'll see there's the awarded ones. There's 3 of them, the Maya, and then the police one is also awarded, and then the last police one is just the applied for one. So I'll try to keep this updated every month so people who want to follow along and see what we're getting for funds for the community can have access to that. And that is all I have for my report. Are there any questions?
What about the community compact grant that we had for updating the employee handbook? Did we ever finish that?
Updated for the what?
Employee handbook.
We did finish the, and reaching out to. I would like to put something together and send it over to the library, see if we can get out to the folks there. And then if there's any other suggestions, we can try plugging again on Facebook and see if we can also get it on the neighbors page.
Is there a deadline for submitting interest?
Well, there was a preference, but the preference of dates has come and gone, Mark. So at this point, it's, you know, the sooner we get them in, if we can get enough people in prior to October 28th, and the select board can review those applicants at the 28th and make appointment. But there's no point to reviewing them until we get enough people to even pull a quorum.
Can I speak to 2 topics that have already been discussed, one of which was in Heather's report about the, I'm going to get the title wrong, so I'm going to use the old title, the Town Service Coordinator. Good points obviously raised in terms of, is this the financial climate to raise the hours? But I don't think it was mentioned that the financing of those additional hours was brought to the Finance Committee, and a request was made to use reserve funds, which the Finance Committee is, and that the comment is that not only did he give a thorough report this evening, but he sent out a very thorough report, essentially to my attention in my capacity of Finance Committee and CIPC, and I shared it with both of those committees, in which case everyone is reluctant to respond back because of open meeting law violations, but the general sense was, wow. He may have underplayed it a little bit, but and I think all of you tried to chime in, you know, thanks to him, thanks to DPW, thanks to the DPW Building Committee, the Recreation Commission, the town administrator. There was a collaboration of a lot of entities to make this happen. He also spoke to the point of thinking out of the box. We all talk about that. We don't always pull it off, but they did. And to have it funded by repurposing some funds so that it's not essentially a cost to the town. I think all of those were good items, and all the people that all of you have mentioned, and I wanted to mention as well, deserve a lot of credit. It's not exactly the $25 million DPW building that was on the horizon a while back, but it's a nice fix for what has been a 5 or 8 year problem, so.
Any further public comment? Anything from you, Kirk?
No, ma'am, other than if you need a motion to adjourn.
Anything from you, Carol?
No, thank you.
We have nothing, Kirk.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor, Kirk?
Aye.
Carol?
Aye.
And I will vote aye. We are adjourned.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Kirk.